Thanks for joining me today. My name is Christy and I'm the owner and soap maker for KB Shimmer. I am going to show you today an advanced soap making technique. It is a 6-color in the pot swirl. I use this technique for my Kaleidoscope soap. I am going to start out with my oils in a bucket already melted, olive oil, cocoa butter, shea butter, my basic soap making recipe, and going to start by adding the lye. I do like to strain my lye. I do dissolve some silk into my lye water, and sometimes you don't get all of it dissolved, so by straining it we can make sure that we don't have any impurities in there. So just going to strain it out and scrape my container, making sure I get every little last bit. We're going to go pretty quick through this today. As you can assume, working with 6 colors, there's not a ton of time to dawdle. Hopefully you can get a good view here. I'm just going to start pulsing my stick blender. You can see that the oils are becoming a little bit more opaque. That is the lye interacting with the oils. I do already have my fragrance added in here, so I am ready to divide out as soon as I have a nice emulsification. You can see here that the oils are nice and opaque. You don't see any clear oils left. You just have a nice emulsified batter. So for now, I'm going to set my stick blender off to the side. And I'm going to take my batter and divide it into 6 different colors. I have cups that I have taken a little bit of oil and some mica, and I have just mixed those ahead of time. And I'm going to divide these off quickly. Do each color, and I do like using these disposable cups. Not only can I use the inner markings for kind of a measurement guide, when I'm done with them I can just dispose of them. I find that sometimes after being used for a while, different cups, the plastics try to kind of break down, so I do like using the disposable. This is the last color. And we do have some mix left in the bucket, and we do want that. Now I'm just going to take my stick blender and I'm just going to pulse through each of these just to make sure they're thoroughly mixed. I'm actually going to start with the yellow. Kind of tap to make sure you get the bubbles out. I didn't do that there. And I used to rinse my stick blender in between each color, but I've learned now that if I kind of go in a good order, I don't have too much color bleeding. So, almost done. The colors I used here are the pop micas from TKB Trading. They are no longer being made, but there are several alternative mica colorants that work. You can use any 6 colors. I just like these because it's kind of a full spectrum. After I've got all of my cups blended with the color, I am going to go back to my base, and I'm just going to blend it a little bit more just to make sure it's thoroughly emulsified and no separation has happened. Okay. Just going to move the cups so I can make sure this is positioned nice. Okay. This is where being precise in where you pour becomes important. If we just did a random pour, we're not going to get nice consistent swirls. We're not going to get consistent color throughout the bar. So with my pot here, I'm going to treat it almost like a clock, and I'm going to pour my 6 colors at 12 and 6 and well, here and here too. So we're going to start with the red. Just pour a little bit of that in. And I don't pour the whole cup in right away. Then I'll go back with the yellow or orange. Yellow. There's the green. I've only done a little bit of each color because I'm going to go back again. If I were to do all of the one color at once, when I poured the next color in, I found that it just doesn't swirl as nicely as if I kind of try to do a little bit at a time and keep it in its area. You can see when you're pouring each color down, it does tend to pull the next door color in. Okay, and when I've done 2 pours, should have a little bit left. I'm going to pour that in the middle, and I'm going to leave just about this much in the cup because we're going to go back and we're going to swirl the top. You can see that the soap is starting to thicken up a bit, but it's still quite workable. Okay, I add a little bit extra of the pink, so I just poured that a little bit in this spot. Now here is where the magic comes in. If I were to just take this and pour this as is, I'd get some nice swirls, but not anything spectacular. So what I want to do is I want to take my spatula and I'm going to put it down in one spot, and then I'm going to go around and through the middle. And you can see when you pull it out, you're going to get a nice rainbow of colors there. By pulling the spatula through and around, I'm helping distribute all the colors through the pot. So now I'm just going to take that and scrape it into my mold. And I'm just going to move the pot a bit and try to get the mold into the shot for you. I am using a silicone mold. This one is from Upland. I'm not sure what the status of that business is anymore, but you can use any mold you like. I start pouring just at one end, kind of let it move down, and then I slowly do another pass and go back down again. While pouring in the mold, you are also helping swirl. Kind of see my pot here, all the different colors. Just gonna do a scrape. Gonna just come back and get all that in there. then I just kind of shake the mold a little bit to settle it out. Now we're going to go back with some of the color that we have left over in the cup, and we're going to just simply pour some lines in there. I don't worry about getting everything out of the cup because I can certainly go back if I want to. The important thing is to kind of distribute this throughout the mold. Don't worry, I know it's going to look kind of messy right now, kind of abstract artish, but we're going to go back and we're going to use a skewer to swirl it. I am going to go back and take my spatula and get as much out of those cups as I can. I'm going to use the spatula to push it out. And all the layering of colors is going to help when we do pull and swirl, so we get some nice depth in there. Last one. Okay, and one more time before I go through, I'm just going to kind of shake it a little bit, even it out. And then I like to use a wooden skewer. Oh, that one's got some chunks, but here's a different one. So just a wooden skewer, and I am going to start in the corner, and I like to go diagonally first. It's kind of a thin pattern. Let's move that, make sure you can see that. I'm going to go all the way down the log. Can you see that? Let's move that over a tiny bit. And then after I've done that, I go back and do kind of a curly cue. So all the colors are distributed throughout all the tops of the bars. And there you go. It is important when attempting something like this that you do use a fragrance that you are very familiar with, something that is very easy to work with, that's not going to accelerate trace, that's not going to curdle. You just want something very, very easy to work with. Citruses, those are great scents. A lot of the essential oils are really easy to work with. So hopefully you can try this for yourself, and I will be back later to show you a cut bar. Thanks all!